Today on the Stay at Home Chef, I'm showing you how to make Steakhouse Style Horseradish Crusted Prime Rib. This classic preparation is great for special occasion meals and everyone always loves it. It's also a lot easier to make than you might think. Make sure you have a meat thermometer, and this dish is sure to be the star of the show. The first thing you'll want to do is take your prime rib out of the fridge and let it sit on the counter for 1 to 2 hours so it can come to room temperature, and this will ensure a more even cook. We are using a 3-bone prime rib roast. This recipe will also work with a 4-bone or a boneless roast. Of course, bone-in is preferred because not only is it super pretty, it also ensures a more even cook. Then move your oven rack to one of the lowest positions. This is the second lowest because I have another rack in here. And then we're gonna preheat the oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Then in a small bowl, we're gonna combine all of the ingredients for that outer crust. The first thing you'll need, of course, is prepared horseradish. Make sure you're using prepared horseradish and not any kind of horseradish sauce for this. You can always prepare your own horseradish by pulsing chunks of horseradish root with vinegar in a food processor. Just know that it's a little bit dangerous and you will need to use protective eyewear. You'll need half a cup of that prepared horseradish, 10 cloves of crushed garlic, so basically 1 large bulb, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and then 1 tablespoon each of salt and black pepper. Then we'll stir this together. You have 2 sides to your prime rib roast. There's the fatty side and the meaty side with the curve. We're gonna start on this meaty side. Just grab some of that mixture and start spreading it on. This isn't very pretty, but boy, is it tasty. Don't forget to coat these beautiful front edges too. You definitely want some flavoring there. Then I'm going to flip it so it's fat side up into a roasting pan, and then finish crusting it right there in the roasting pan. If you don't have a roasting pan, you can just use a 9x13 pan or a cast iron pan. Just getting it off of the bottom of the pan with this roasting rack actually ensures a more even cook, so you get that perfect medium rare in the center. Then we're gonna roast this in our 500 degree oven, fat side up, for about 15 minutes at that 500 degrees. After that initial sear of 15 minutes, you'll reduce the heat to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. You wanna cook the roast until it reaches an internal temperature of 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This is where it's super helpful to have a meat thermometer to ensure accuracy. Time is just an estimate, and it can vary based on whether you have bone-in or boneless and the size of your roast. The rule of thumb is about 15 minutes per pound. My roast was about 7 pounds, so it'll take just over an hour and a half. If you want to serve it up with a creamy horseradish sauce, I've got you covered. You'll need about 2/3 a cup of sour cream. To that, you're gonna add about 1/4 cup of prepared horseradish. Then I'm gonna juice half a lemon. You'll need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Go ahead and pour that in, and then add half a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, or more of each to taste, and then just stir this together. Some people like to add in a dash of Tabasco sauce or a couple dashes of Worcestershire sauce, but I like to keep mine nice and simple. At that 90-minute mark, I'm gonna start checking the temperature. You're looking for about 120 degrees in the very center. Pull that roast out of the oven and let it rest for 20 minutes or until the internal temperature reaches 130 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a perfect medium rare. You can leave it resting in the roasting pan, or if you used a 9x13 pan or a cast iron pan, you'll want to pull it out and transfer it to a cutting board or a serving platter. Then it's time to grab that cream sauce because we are ready to eat. Thanks for watching. You can find the full written recipe in the video description. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow, and check out the rest of my videos where you can find hundreds of restaurant quality recipes you can easily make at home. We'll see you later.